यानंतर प्रमुख पाहुण्यांचा परिचय करण्यासाठी मी प्रोफेसर हमीद खान सरांना विनंती करेन. प्रोफेसर हमीद खान सर.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this historic moment of the 53rd convocation ceremony of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, we have none other as the chief guest with us than the former President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam. We all know that Professor Kalam does not need any introduction. He is internationally esteemed and acknowledged person. Even so, I consider it my singular privilege to present you just a few glimpses of the stupendous and stunning work Dr. Kalam has done for our country. He is an institution in himself. He is a living legend who has drastically changed the international outlook on India. जिनका परिचय कराने के लिए घंटों भी कम पड़ेंगे, उनके बारे में मुझे मिनटों में बात करनी है. This is very unfortunate because we are all very eager to listen to Dr. Kalam. Professor Abdul Kalam has performed wonders. I'll just mention one or two things and then speak something which you and I feel to be expressed. We all know about Kalam being missile man, Kalam being pioneer in the field of plastic technology, Kalam and Rohini, Kalam and Pokhran II, and what not. Kalam the writer, Kalam the poet, Kalam the inspirer, Kalam the person who has ignited the young minds, Kalam the person who has infused the spirit for the service of the nation in the young minds. Kalam, the chief architect of the destinies of young nation. अब मैं केवल वो बात कहूंगा जो आपके और मेरे मन में है. डॉक्टर कलाम के इंट्रोडक्शन की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. ये बात जो मैं अर्ज करने जा रहा हूं, this is what you feel, this is what I feel, and this is what every Indian feels. The nation salutes you, Professor Kalam, for the massive work you have done. The nation salutes you for the enrichment and also for the international status and honor you have brought to the country. The young generations will remember you, Professor Kalam, for the paths of peace, progress, integrity and self-reliance you have paved for them. You are a divine gift to the nation, Professor Kalam. We love you, Kalam, and we pray for your health and for your creative spirit. Thank you very much, esteemed audience. Now, may I request Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate Professor Kalam by offering him flowers, a shawl and a memento as a token of our immense love for Professor Kalam.
Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, and on my own behalf, I feel greatly honored to welcome Professor APJ Abdul Kalam on this auspicious day when so many graduates are getting their degrees and stepping into the challenging world of practical ideas and innovation. This university caters the need of boys and girls from rural background, mostly from farmers' families. Our modest duty and mission is to transform them into responsible citizens with independent learning skills for self-sustainable attitude in future life. In the last 2 years, I myself have learned a lot from the variety of experiences while interacting with students, faculty, and other stakeholders. We are in the process of transforming the change for better with information and communication technology so that we can seriously understand grassroots level problems and reality. It's a great opportunity for all of us to seek your advice, sir, as we proceed to march on this path of innovation. My dear students, teachers, and all those who are watching this program live on website, I feel honored to present to you Professor Kalam, my guide, philosopher, old colleague, and a great teacher. Professor Kalam, please.
Friends, good evening to all of you. Good evening. Nice. You know, I have a friend, that is Dr. Vijay, Professor Vijay of your Vice Chancellor, Pantari Pandey. I know him for decades. I know him not as a friend also. He is a scientist and who has got a name in Hyderabad and also Aurangabad. The name is the man who is not afraid of Maxwell equation. The Maxwell equation frightens many people, but your Vice Chancellor, Professor Vijay Padripande, is at home with Maxwell equation, and that's how lot of research has come out of him in the form of radar and communication area. I congratulate your Vice Chancellor. First, I would like to greet the Vice Chancellor, then Dhanraj Mane, Dr. Ashok Chavan, deans of all faculties and members of the Management Council and distinguished guests of the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University. Friends, I am very delighted to participate in the 53rd annual convocation of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, and my greetings to the members of Management Council, deans, Vice Chancellor, and graduating students, staff, special invitees, and distinguished guests, and parents. I am happy to note that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University has several disciplines such as pharmacy, science and technology, life sciences, law and management, and many fields, fine arts also. I am glad that the university meets the education needs of nearly 1.45 lakhs of students from 404 affiliated colleges and nearly 3,000 students in the university campus itself. I'm also happy to note the university has a pervasive research focus, mostly on life sciences, pharmacy, computer science, microwaves, and electronic communication, particularly research highly focused on chemical technology such as drug design and natural products and chemistry. Department of Zoology work for a DNA barcoding and biodiversity studies. It is noteworthy, just now I saw 300 doctoral students are getting degree today, and definitely scientific breakthroughs would have been reported in the theses of 300 doctorate students. It is benefited about 450 students. I understand it is interesting to note that unique Yearn and Learn scheme, the Yearn and Learn scheme has benefited about 450 students annually, giving a thrust to the university's mission of to enhance the numerical graph of higher education amongst the youth of the region. So when I see this gathering of students, let me share with you a few thoughts on the topic research, teaching research. Of course, your university has a great name attached and honored, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, and he was the architect of India, one of the architect of a constitution of India. So we always remember his memory. Friends, let us, the topic I have selected, research, teaching research, because this university giving a lot of importance to research. Let me first share two experiences with you. One is about the development of a cardiac stent called Kalam Raju stent, which was joint research development project between the cardiac specialist and technologist. The second experience is the design and development of a lightweight caliper FRO, that is the calipers. Now, friends, the stent, Raju Kalam stent, why I am telling, here you have science, you have technology, you have pharmacy, you have law, you have fine arts, all the fields are there. It's a great opportunity, field of research, coming together, multiple technology and multiple science, multiple arts. So I am very happy to communicate to you about Raju Kalam stent, how a technology and a doctor joined together brought a cardiac stent. Friends, one and a half decades back, I was traveling in a non-stop train from Delhi to Dehradun. I was observed in a book, Man the Unknown, by Dr. Alexis Carrel. Suddenly, one passenger greeted me and decided to talk to me. There was a vacant seat next to him. I asked him to sit by my side. He introduced himself as Jitish, working in a government office. Jitish said, Mr. Kalam, I want to thank you for giving the people like me Raju Kalam stent, which is fitted two of my arteries. He had three arteries, two arteries filled with, it's blocked. So it was cleared and put this cardiac stent. I was fitted with these stents in Hyderabad hospital, almost at no cost, since at that time I could not afford a high-cost imported stent. Thank you, sir. My family also it smiles. Raju Kalam stent emanated through the working of a missile laboratory and a medical institution. Missile laboratory and medical institution and engineering teams. I thought of sharing this incident with you to stress the importance of medical and engineering teams to work together for developing medical system, devices and equipment at an affordable cost as a societal mission. You have a great opportunity in this campus, in this university campus, Aurangabad campus. You can, multiple science are here in this campus, technology is there, art is there, you can combine all of them. The KR stent, as was called, resulted in application to the patients and all the availability of international brands of coronary stents in India at the most nominal prices. Friends, here I would like to share another memorable event from my professional work which gave me the bliss. I would like to share with you an experience about the provision of FRO. FRO means flow reaction orthosis caliper to a polio-affected child. During my visit to one of the hospitals in Hyderabad, I found many children were struggling to walk with artificial calipers weighing 4 kilograms. At the request of Professor V.N. Prasad of NIMS, Nizam Institute of Medical Science, head of orthopedic department that time, I asked my Agni missile friends why we cannot use the composite material for the compost may be used for agni heat shield for fabricating FROs for polio-affected patients. They immediately said it's possible, and we worked on this project for some time and came up with a FRO for the child weighing around 400 grams in place of 4 kilograms, 1/10 of the weight, which the children were using now. The doctors helped use to fit this new lightweight FRO on the children, and the children started walking and running because it's so light. And their parents were also present. Tears rolled down with their faces through the joy of seeing their children running with their light calipers. With the lightweight device provided by the hospital, they could run, ride a bicycle, and do all sorts of things which they have done were been denied for a long time. The removal of the pain and the freedom attained by the children gave me a state of bliss which I never experienced during any other achievement in my life. Now, friends, when I see a number of pharma students also there, I would like to discuss about Pharma Vision 2020. Friends, the global production of pharma, branded and generic put together, is of the order of $700 billion. The Indian pharma industry, and also Aurangabad famous for drug industries and pharma industries, the Indian pharma industry at present has turnover about $17 billion of generics for domestic and export markets, and the overall turnover of the Indian pharma industry expected to be about $25 billion by the end of 2012, of which 60% would be exports. As much as 40% we should target and increase the turnover of pharma industry over to $100 billion. I would like to suggest that we should identify all such missions which will make India the leader of drug production, and Aurangabad is one of the leading centers. We should set a target for core competence of producing cost-effective pharma products. The pharmacists assembled here and the students studying in various disciplines must keep these targets in mind and contribute adequately for the realization of Indian Pharma Vision 2020. Let me now discuss some of the possible missions which may help to achieve the Pharma Vision 2020. One is India has to emerge as a leader of low-cost quality vaccines, and which is being developed for HIV, cancer, and malaria. About 50 popular drugs worth of $47 billion are getting off patent in 3 to 5 years' time. This should present an opportunity for the Indian pharma industry to enter into newer markets. The next area I'm going to discuss is since I see the students from multiple disciplines, when I saw their type of the convocation, the degree and postgraduate degree when they received from multiple disciplines, I would like to talk on four-dimensional convergence of technology. As you know, friends, the information technology and communication technology have already converged, leading to information and communication technology, ICT, as you know. The information technology combined with biotechnology has led to bioinformatics. Similarly, photonics is grown out from the laboratories to converge with classical electronics and microelectronics to bring in a new high-speed option in consumer products. Flexible and unbreakable displays using thin layer of film on transparent polymers have emerged a new symbol of entertainment and media tools. Now, friends, nanotechnology has come in. It is the field of the future that will replace according to me, that will replace microelectronics and many fields with a tremendous application potential in the area of medicine, electronics, and material science. I am sure about the use of nanorobot for drug delivery also. When nanotechnology and ICT, that is information communication technology, ICT, when nanotechnology and ICT meet integrated silicon electronics, photonics are born, and it can be said that material convergence will happen. with material convergence and biotechnology linked, a new science called intelligent bioscience would be born, which would lead to a disease-free, happy, and more intelligent human habitat with a longevity and high human capacities. Convergence of bio-nano-info technologies can lead to the development of nanorobots. Nanorobots, when they are injected into a patient, my expert friends say it will diagnose and deliver the treatment exclusively in the affected area, and the nanorobot gets digested as it is a DNA-based product. I saw the product sample in the animal test going on in one of the laboratories in South Korea, where best of minds with multiple technology work with the target of finding out-of-box solution. Now friends, let me give an example. Recently, I was in the Harvard University. I visited laboratories of many eminent professors from Harvard School of Engineering and Applied Science, USA. I recall how Professor Hukun Park showed me his invention of nano needles which can pierce and deliver content into individual targeted cells, human cells. That is how nanoparticle, that is how nanoparticle science is shaping the bioscience. Then I met Professor Vinod Manoharan, who showed, on the other hand, biosciences are in turn shaping the nanomaterial science as well. He is using DNA material to design self-assembling particles. When particular type of DNA is applied on a prefixed behavior, when a particular type of DNA is applied on a particle at the atomic level, professor is able to generate a prefixed behavior and automatic assembly for them. This could be our answer for self-assembly of devices and colonies in deep space without human intervention. Thus within a single research building, I saw how two different sciences are shaping each other without any iron curtain between the technologies. This reciprocating contribution of sciences to one another is going to shape our future, and the industry needs to be ready for it. Friends, particularly the university like what you are having, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University, definitely you must see that the various, that is between the fine arts, technology, law, and multiple fields, you should work together, bring out the great product, great system for the country. Now friends, a new trend is emerging. What is a new trend? The aspect being introduced is that of ecology. Ecology. Globally, the demand is shifting towards development of a sustainable system which are technologically superior. These are the new dimensions for 21st century knowledge society, where science, technology, and environment will have to go together. Thus, a new age model would be a four-dimensional, instead of three-dimensional, it will be four-dimensional: bio, nano, info, eco-based. This is the type of new system next 10 years it will occupy in the world research laboratories. Now friends, good teaching emanates from research. Good teaching emanates from research. The teacher's love for research and their experience in research are vital for growth of the institutions. Any university is going to be judged by the level and the extent of research work it accomplishes. This sets in a regenerative cycle of excellence. Experience of research leads to quality teaching. Experience of research leads to quality teaching, And quality teaching imparted to the young in turn enriches the research. That's why I said research, teaching, research. Technology is a non-linear tool available to the humanity which can affect fundamental changes in the ground rules of economic competitiveness. Science is linked to technology through applications. Technology is linked to economy and environment through manufacture of technology products. Economy and environment linked to technology which promote prosperity to the society. We have to use innovation to generate high value added product for becoming a global player. Now when I saw hundreds of research students and thousands of more research students are there in this campus and various colleges attached to the university, I want to convey one experience of great scientists so that researchers, the guide and researchers will appreciate it. Since I am in the midst of the students, I thought of sharing with you friends and also faculty members, teachers, an incident about Sir C.V. Raman, the Nobel laureate in physics for discovering Raman effect. Raman gave the view, as you all know, the color of the sky blue due to molecular diffraction, which determines the observed luminosity and great measure also is in color. This led to the birth of Raman effect. Raman was in the first batch of Bharat Ratna awardees. The award ceremony was to take place in the last week of January, soon after the Republic Day celebration in 1954. Then President Dr. Rajendra Prasad wrote to Raman, Sir C.V. Raman, invited him to be the personal guest in Rashtrapati Bhavan during the award ceremony. Sir C.V. Raman wrote a polite letter to the President, regretting his inability to go. Sir C.V. Raman had a noble reason for his inability to attend this investiture ceremony. He explained to the President that he was guiding a PhD student and that the thesis was positively due by the last day of January. The student was valiantly trying to wrap it all up, and Raman felt he has to be by the side of the research student. He has to be by the side of research student. See that the thesis was finished, sign the thesis, and the guide then have it submitted. Here was a scientist who gave the pomp of a glittering ceremony associated with the highest honor, because Sir C. Raman felt that his duty required him to be by the side of the research student. It is this unique trait of giving value to science that builds science. So friends, I have seen, now I understand some management students also there. Dear friends, I have seen 3 dreams which have taken shape as a vision, mission and realization. Space program of Indian Space Research Organization, Agni program of DRDO, Defense Research Development Organization, and PURA, providing urban amenities in the rural areas, becoming the national mission. Of course, these 3 programs succeeded in the midst of many challenges and problems. I have worked in all these 3 areas. I would like to convey to the young people in all fields, not only management field, every field of science, technology, management, I would like to convey to you that I have learned on the leadership. What are the things I have learned on the leadership? Number 1, leader must have a vision. Always leader will cherish the vision. They think, he or she think before 20 years plan. Leader must have a passion to transform the vision into action. Leader must be able to travel in the unexplored path. Leader must know how to manage success and failure. Easy to manage success, failure how to manage. Leader must have a courage to take decision. Leader should have a nobility in management. Every action of the leader should be transparent. And finally, the leader must work with integrity and succeed with integrity. That's one of the critical necessity for the leadership of the country. Leader must work with integrity and succeed with integrity. For success, all the mission is essential to have leaders who have the traits as I mentioned, And I would define them as a creative leaders. Creative leaders means exercising the vision to change the traditional role from the commander to the coach, manager to mentor, from director to delegator, and from one who demands respect to one who facilitates self-respect. So friends, in conclusion, since I am in the midst of young of future professionals, scientists, technologists, managers, and great leaders, I would like to put forth a thoughtful question. The question is, what would you like to be remembered? This for young people, young students who are assembled here, and the graduates. What would you like to be remembered for? You have to evolve. What you would like to be remembered for? You have to evolve yourself and shape your life. You should write it on a page today. That page may be a very important page in the book of human history. And you will be remembered for creating that one page in the history of the nation. Whether that page is a page of, whether that page is page in the history of, whether that page is a page of evolution of a new technological system, a page of innovation in a way of working, or page of creating action-oriented mission for the people, or the page of triumphing over diseases which have affected the humanity for ages, or the page of contributing towards inclusive growth of the nation in a time-bound manner. Students, you can write your views, your thoughts and ideas to my mail, apj@abdulkalam.com, and I will correspond with you. So if you have good ideas, I will send some books also for you. Once again, I would like to congratulate all the graduating students of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad. My best wishes to all you success in all your mission. May God bless you all.
Professor Kalam, I am glad to inform you that our Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Maratha University, in association with University of Health Sciences, Nashik, and University of Pune, are going to meet in August at Pune and fulfill your dream of interdisciplinary research. Thank you. Now, I declare that the convocation ceremony is over. I request all of you to stand for national anthem.
सर्व निमंत्रित पाहुण्यांना विनंती आहे की कॅन्टीन मध्ये चहापानाची व्यवस्था केलेली आहे. आपण चहापानाचा आस्वाद घेऊनच या ठिकाणाहून बाहेर पडायचे. सर्व सन्माननीय निमंत्रितांना विनंती आहे की कॅन्टीन मध्ये चहापानाची व्यवस्था केलेली आहे.
उपस्थित सर्व मान्यवरांचे आणि पाहुण्यांचे धन्यवाद आभार या ठिकाणी व्यक्त करण्यात येत आहेत.
APJ
Abdicate leading centers. We should set it with building. I saw
तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनले रत्नेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संगराचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनावनाचे गीत आमुचे जगराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनावनाचे गीत आमुचे जगराचे
गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे
गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनावनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनावराचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
अभंगाचे ओवीते माया बोलीते माहेर
वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे इमेल घरोघर संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमुचे आगळाचे इतिहासाचे जनावराचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनले गेला
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा विरलेला
सोन पहाट उदयाचे गीत आमुचे उजेडाचे इतिहासाचे जनावराचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संगराचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनावराचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे
अभंगाचे ओढीते माया बोलीते माहेर
वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे किमेलख घरोघर संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमुचे वादळाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनले
नक्षीत पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा मिळलेला
सोन पहा